Pursue lasting priorities. So the Bible talks a lot about that, about the things that matter, the priorities that matter, the things that we should do, the things that we should get done. And really, if we have evaluated our lives, we're probably all pursuing something. I mean, it might be little, it might be big. You might be pursuing the perfect garden this year, or the perfect lawn, or maybe you're into fitness, or maybe you're trying to get your family budget in order. Maybe you're trying to restore something, a car or a piece of furniture or something like that. But people pursue financial security, comfort, success, relationships, approval, and experience that we hope make us happy. I mean, some people have what they call a bucket list, and they try to get everything done on the bucket list. Travel here, do this, experience that, ride this, all these different things. As they go through that, sometimes they are just never able to accomplish, never able to find true satisfaction. It's interesting, Proverbs 27:20 says, just as death and destruction are never satisfied, so human desire is never satisfied. It's interesting, the King James Version translates that, just as hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of man are never satisfied. And the idea is that Sheol, the word, refers to the grave or the realm of the dead, and Abaddon means destruction, but here it's being used as a poetic name for the place of death. They continue to go on, they continue to fill up, and that is the same thing with our pursuits, with the things that we want, with the things that our eyes want. Human desire is never satisfied. So in a poetic way, it's saying, just as life and death continue on, and just as death, and the King James says hell, fills up, human desire keeps going on. It's never fully satisfied. The realm of death is never full. Generation after generation enters the grave, but death never closes its doors and announces there's no more room, and it continues to receive more. So Proverbs uses that sobering picture to describe human desire. Just as the grave never says enough, our eyes and desires can keep asking for more. I'm sure maybe you've experienced that before. You're just going along, minding your own business, and then something, maybe an ad online or something, catches your eye, and you went from, I didn't know it existed, to I must have it today. So sometimes when I go down to the Twin Cities, especially in the Edina or the western suburb areas, I see all sorts of cars I have never seen before. So cars they don't drive up here. And I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. Never seen one of those before. And so my budget does not allow me to purchase such a thing, so that's not really a big deal. But maybe you've seen clothes, or maybe you've seen shoes, or maybe you've seen tools or things like that. But human desire and the things that you want and the things that you need and the things that you think you have to have just continue to go on. And if you pursue them, they can destroy you. They can destroy your finances. They can do all sorts of things that will just tear apart the satisfaction that you'll have, because you won't have gotten the important things. You'll have only gotten the temporary things, and that will be difficult. So Proverbs 27:20 says that. Ecclesiastes 3:11 chimes in, yet God has made everything beautiful for its own time. He has planted eternity in the human heart, but even so, people cannot see the whole scope of God's work from beginning to end. So God's gifts are meant to be received and enjoyed. But God doesn't provide every single thing that you've ever wanted, but He often provides what you need, enough. And when we take satisfaction in that, when we enjoy what we have, we can work towards better things, but when we enjoy what we have, when we take care of what we have, that can be good, and that can even be enough. Contentment begins when we stop expecting temporary things to do what only God can do. Human desire keeps saying more, but faith teaches us to say, God is enough, and what He has given me today is a gift. So many times, we wake up in the morning, especially now, after all the smoke experience, we wake up and my wife and I, we look out and we're like, today looks like a good day to go outside, a good day to do things. Today, God has given us a good day. Let's go enjoy it. We don't know what tomorrow holds. It could be hot, humidity. It could be smoky. It could be rainy. There could be tornadoes or hail, who knows? And we know, actually, that soon snow will come back. But, all right. The second thing that I saw in Proverbs that I thought was really good, there were so many things to pick through, but I was trying to keep on this theme of a life that really matters. So the next one I wanted to highlight is, what does praise reveal? When people tell you you did a good job, when people tell you that you're really good at that or you sing so good, does that make you more humble? Does that make you closer to God, or does that pull you away? Because according to Proverbs 27:21, praise is a test. It says, fire tests the purity of silver and gold, but a person is tested by being praised. You'd think that we were being tested by hardship and difficulty, but sometimes praise is the thing. What happens when people notice us? What happens when we receive recognition? What happens when we succeed? Do we become proud? Do we begin to believe that we deserve the attention? Do we start living for people's approval? Do we start to think more about what people think of us than what God thinks of us? That's one of the problems why, like lifestyle evangelism, where you're trying to win your neighbor to Christ. It's like you got a new neighbor and you want to win him to Jesus, and you're really enjoying your new neighbor. He's a pretty good guy. He's got a nice boat and he's got some other stuff, and he takes you out with him and you have a good time and you catch a lot of fish and it's all good. And you want to tell him about Jesus, but you know he's not interested, and you're like, man, if I tell him about Jesus, he's probably not going to take me fishing anymore, and I really like going fishing. So it's like, okay, I love Jesus more, so I'm gonna with tact tell them about the thing that means the most to me while we're in the boat fishing, and that can be good. But sometimes praise, sometimes people's applause will pull us away from the things of God. I mean, we all need, don't say, well, we don't want that pastor to become too prideful, so we'll never tell him that we appreciate him. Don't do that. So it's like, yeah, keep him humble. Don't tell him, you like the sermon? Don't tell him that. They get prideful. So don't do that. We need to encourage each other and build each other up. That's a really good thing to do. But don't be living for people's applause. Don't be thinking of what everybody else thinks of you. I know we all think of what people think of us, and this is why we dress a certain way. And this is why we, try to have good hygiene. And this is why we try to keep our whatever we have for property, our lawns nice and our vehicles nice and stuff. And that's all good. Actually, that can help your Christian testimony. So those things are good. So you don't want people to reject you because you don't take care of things or because everything's a mess around you. But all right, so praise. Where does it leave you? Don't live for people's applause. I thought that one was really good. Don't be thinking, what can I do to get people to notice me? What will please and honor God is the thing that we want to think of most. All right, and then in verse 22, I thought this is really interesting. I had to look it up and think about it for a bit because I didn't get it at first. But you cannot separate fools from their foolishness, even though you grind them like grain with mortar and pestle. So with their grain, back in these days long ago, they had like their clay or their concrete bowl. And then they had that big, I don't know what you call it, kind of looked like a post thing that you grind and pound, and so you'd pound it down and grind it around, and so that's mortar and pestle. So it's a graphic description really that's saying that outward pressure does not automatically produce inward wisdom. So wise people are going to listen and learn, and fools, they might not listen and learn at all. They might just become bitter and angry. And so this proverb is saying that just because you try to push and try to instruct and try to teach and train and even make their life hard until they understand, not everybody's going to get it. And so that's what that talks about. Consequences alone do not change the heart. You can correct a person, warn a person, or allow that person to experience the painful results of foolish choices. But if that person refuses God's wisdom, the foolishness remains. I thought that was pretty good. And then the next verse 23, I thought that was pretty good. So it's good for a pastor too, actually. But applying to all of us, it's good. So it says, know the state of your flocks and put your heart into caring for your herds, for riches don't last forever, and the crown might not be passed to the next generation. And really, this is back to this whole idea of contentment again. So back when people heard this originally, they were dependent on livestock and herds for their food, clothing, income, and security. So that if they neglected these things, they might miss out. And so riches aren't guaranteed. I mean, the riches that we have today aren't guaranteed. The income that we have coming in today isn't guaranteed. And possessions don't last forever. Income can change. Positions at work can be lost. Even earthly influence and authority are temporary. But so what it's saying is to know what's going on with your possessions, with your finances, with the things that you have, and then take care of them. So take care of them. Know that God is the one who provides, and He expects you to do a good job of taking care of what He has blessed you with. Whether it's a little or whether it's a lot, that you should do what you can to be a faithful servant. Actually, Jesus said in Luke 16:10, if you are faithful in little things, you will be faithful in large ones. But if you are dishonest in little things, you won't be honest with greater responsibilities. So to be faithful with your finances. Beyond finances and possessions too, think about your marriage, your children, your grandchildren, your health, your work, your finances, your friendship, your church, or opportunities that God gives you to help people in need. All of those things, to think about that, to know the state of them and put your heart into caring for them all. So God rewards that. That is a wise thing to do. So my question here is, what occupies your thoughts most of these days? What are you pursuing in your life? Are you pursuing lasting priorities, or are you pursuing temporary things? So again, God often gives us things that we delight in, and we can enjoy God's creation through hobbies and collections and things like that. But really, long-term, eternal value of the things that you're doing, the things that you're pursuing, how's it working out for you? Are there things that need to change? What has God placed in your care that maybe you're not doing a good job with?